So we have another weekly watch list just about to get underway, and as you can see here, we've got maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 pairs that we're going to go over. I'm going to try and get these weekly watch lists quicker and quicker and quicker each week, not because we've got less to look at, but just by this time, the people that have been watching these will definitely sort of understand things that we're looking for in the market and how we capitalize on them. And I really want to build up your speed at analyzing the charts, because really you don't want to be spending a lot of time analyzing the charts. You don't want to be spending a lot of time checking them. Yes, you want to spend a lot of time practicing, but when it comes to actually getting organized and setting up for the week, you want to be quick. You don't want to be too quick that you're missing out things, but you do definitely want to be quick, because you do have mental muscles that get fatigued when you look at the charts for too long, and it ultimately ends up losing you money by making wrong decisions, really costly mistakes. So speed whilst being accurate is definitely the key. It comes over time, but enough of that. We're going to get straight into this weekly watch list. So I'm going to skip out this one. This is not something that I'm going to be going over, because it's not something that we've taught in the course or anything recently to other people. So I want to just stay away from that and just talk about pairs that we know and trade that you're going to be familiar with. So starting from the top, Aussie US dollar. And we'll go out to the daily and we can see what we are seeing is perhaps a continuation of this bullish run. Okay, we're going to be expecting price action somewhere in this region to have a good reaction, and we are going to be taking it to the top of these highs. Real nice simple trade. Again, we're going to be monitoring this in the 4 hour and the 1 hour, hopefully get a nice reaction, something along the lines of a candle like this where we've had price action push all the way down, touched the level, and we've closed all the way back up higher. Good indication that we're going to get some buyers back into the market. But again, as you can see here, we've hit this little level of resistance. If we go down to the hourly, you'll be able to see it a bit more clearer. Okay, so we are in this little consolidation phase. We could get a nice rejection of this zone here and then take price action back up to the tops of these highs here, or even further to the tops of these highs. So that's what we're going to be looking for in Aussie US dollar, Gbp Chf. Again, if we go down to the weekly, up to the weekly, sorry, you can see that this is approaching a trend line that we've just recently broken, and we all know if a trend line has been broken and it comes back down towards it, it could be acting as a retest to signal that the breakout has been respected, it's held well, and now potentially we could see a bounce off this trend line. Because once a trend line is broken, doesn't mean to say that it's no use, because this has been acting as resistance for a long time. Now it could potentially act as support. Now when we see this, we want to just be making a trade just based off a bounce of a trend line? No, we want to be trying to figure out, right, what else is in here that we could potentially be looking to trade. Now you can see here price action around about this level, and if you look to the left here, we can see that there is actually a level in here somewhere. So as you can see here, this candle to the bottom of the wick right about here. Now if we zoom in and drag this over, does it match up? It matches up well. Let's do that again. It matches up well with these 2 points here. And because these are weekly levels, let's go down to the daily and see how many more touches we were getting on this. And we're not seeing it because it's been hidden. The weekly levels have been hidden. So let me just quickly put this back. Settings, visibility. Okay, boom. Let's go back. Okay, so let's draw this again. We'll have this here, okay. Now, again, go down to the daily. See nothing. showing the hours, days. Okay, so we have this now. We'll go down to 4 hour, and let's see how well it's been respected. Okay, see, it's lining up perfectly with this level here. We had a massive push down. As you can see here, multiple great touches, so we know this is a really significant level, and it's coming back in line perfectly with this zone here. But let's really zoom in to see what's been happening. We had a massive rejection, which obviously is inviting buyers. So this candle and then this big strong bullish candle here would have been a great entry point, but we are coming back down, and I believe we're coming back down to try and trap and take away any stop losses that were in any buys, because sometimes people would have put their stop losses behind this candle here, this 4 hour candle here, and then the smart ones would have put their stop losses behind this candle wick here. So as you can see, price action is coming back down to retest to see if we can try and take some people's money. So this is a really good opportunity that if we do get a second rejection from this level on this trend line or in and around this trend line, it doesn't have to be exact, of course, that we are going to get some buyers and we will be looking to take price action back up. Where would we take it up to? Again, to the tops of these highs is ample. So if you do get a nice entry signal, so you can see on the 1 hour we are creating a double bottom. Brilliant. These are all good confluences to be getting in this trade. If we get a nice candle on the hourly, we could easily put our stop loss out of the way here, just behind these lows. So depending on our entry, so you could, you're looking at a really nice trade here, but again, it's just all going to be down to the entry. This is why you need to monitor it carefully, and then taking price action back up here. So again, quite a long-term trade, but nonetheless one that could definitely reach these levels. It's not too far away. It is 363 pips, but again, it's one of those ones that will hold on and we'll wait for the market to play out. But again, we might not even get in this one. It all depends on the entry signal that we get, if we even get one. It could just tank straight through, come back to retest, and then go down lower. But for me personally, I think we are going to get a really good buy setup out of this. So Cad JPY, let's go to the daily and let's see what we're looking at. Again, I think that buyers have definitely, sellers have definitely been tricked here, because of course we did have this break below the trend line, break below this mini support zone, but we've closed all the way back up on Thursday here, just right on line with this trend line, and then using that as support again. And then we've had this massive bullish candle on Friday that's engulfed the head of this hammer candle and invited a lot more buyers. So I would be looking for just maybe, because we're sort of creating like a double top here, small double top, I'd be looking for a rejection of the 50 EMA or this trend line here, maybe like another fake out where we have a big push down but we close back above it, and then I'll be looking to take price action probably on the 89.000 handle, nice round number, and it will be very good to see a rejection around this area, and then see we had like the wick ends here, like we had a hammer candle, the wick ends here, pushing our stop loss up a little bit, getting a nice risk to reward. And again, I don't want to be taking it up to the 89.000 handle. So we could, I mean, again, it's hard to tell, it might be a 6 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 4 to 1, but nonetheless a really nice solid setup. So Cad Chf, again, another one we're looking for a sell because we've broken this bullish trend line, right? We've also, if we go to the weekly, you can see here, we've been respecting this bearish trend line for quite some time now. We closed above it, but we've not respected it because just on Friday there we had this massive engulfing candle and closed back below. So now what I'm looking for is a bounce off the 0.236 Fibonacci level, or a bounce off the support zone that was support now becomes resistance because it's broken up. used it as support, then came back down, broken below, and now we expect it to use as resistance. And I think that we're going to have a pullback to at least the 0.382 or 0.5 Fibonacci level. So if we go down to 1 hour, it'll start making a little bit more sense. Again, as you can see here, we are starting to get a nice rejection perfectly on this first Fibonacci level at the 0.236. So I'm going to mark this level in here, because you can see here for a nice rejection here, real nice rejection here. We had nice push up from here, so we know this is a really great level. And again, we've had a rejection and a rejection, so price action for me, I think, is going to be pushed back down, and then what happens thereafter is up to the market. But I think price action is going to be pushed back down to probably the 0.72900 handle just here. So it could be a really nice short position. Again, I'd put it behind these stop loss, behind these highs here, and then taking price all the way down, so we could have another really nice entry. Again, it depends on the market open. I probably will see how much the gap is on Sunday night, tonight at 10 o'clock. So we'll just wait and see what the market, if it gaps up too much, throws us off, we'll wait until the morning, and then we'll reassess it to make sure that it's still a valid trade. If not, then we'll just move on to the next one. But this is what we're currently looking at. Nice ABC, A, B, C back down to the 0.72900 handle. But if we watch this, right, this is typically what normally happens. If you take this trend line here and we copy it, this could potentially be what happens. So we could, if I just push this up ever so slightly, we could even see price come all the way down to 0.72100 handle if we break this level here. Now, again, you aren't going to see this most likely develop throughout this week, but it's definitely one that could develop throughout the coming weeks if we're looking to target an area down here. But for me, my first target is definitely going to be 0.72900, and then we'll reassess. We might be able to get another entry in later on down the line, who knows. But this is the reasons for taking that trade moving into next week. So GBP USD, again, huge double bottom on the 4 hour here, which is a good signal that could be time that some buyers start stepping back in. We do have this really big zone over here that's, you know, miles away. If you go to the weekly, you'll be able to see where it's came from. A really well respected trend line that again is miles away. As you can see, price action had that nice shooting star candle back at the 22nd of February, and we've just sort of floated as the weeks have gone by. And just look at how price action's going into this level here, and we're sort of failing to create lower low, lower high, failing to create another lower low. So that is signaling that buyers are looking to be stepping into this market very shortly, and we would take price back up to the top of these highs at 1.41544, but I'd probably just take it to the 1.41000 handle just to be safe. So we're going to be monitoring the 4 hour, we're going to be monitoring the 1 hour for an entry signal. Let's just get rid of this. Again, I'll be watching the market open just to make sure. I'm going to move these around a little bit. So that was these. I'm going to move these around a little bit because these two are ones that I'm going to need to be given immediate attention. So let's just move them to the bottom. That's what I like to do. And let's move on to GBP Aussie. Again, GBP Aussie is a really nice looking trade. As you can see, we are forming this ascending channel, and we have had multiple touches. So history would tell us that we are going to go back up to these highs here. But again, will that actually happen considering we've had so many touches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one of these trend lines has to break. When it happens and which one breaks, nobody will really know, but one of them is going to break. So we need to be thinking about that when we are going to make a move on a position, whether it be a buy or a sell. Right now we'd be looking for buys back up to the top of this region here at 182,520. But again, we have to be bearing in mind that this is not going to hold forever. Something's going to break, and we need to be willing to capitalise on it and know all the outcomes that could potentially happen. We also want to be making sure that we do a little bit of fundamental analysis and see just what kind of current state is the pound in, what current state is the Aussie in, know the correlation between them two. Remember, because the Aussie is in the second half of this pair. If the Aussie is strong, this pair will go down. If the Aussie is weak, this pair will go up. And then of course, it does have to factor in that if the pound's strong and the Aussie is strong, it will depend on the strength, because it's a battle of strength. Because if two pairs are both strong and is one against the other, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market won't go anywhere. It'll move sideways. It could still take off hugely in one direction. You need to understand what types of news are coming out for each pair and what they mean. The high impact, low impact, or medium. And also, what's the nature of the news? Is it going to be a talk where even just a slight little word could throw the price action off massively? Or is it more of a longer term event, such as Brexit, for example? Just referring to events that have happened in the past, is it something like Brexit that's going to have an ongoing effect? It could start a completely new trend. So these are all the different things that you want to be looking at. So US dollar Swiss. Again, another nice double bottom here. We're just going to be monitoring this level to see if we could get price action to move in a bullish fashion back up to the top of these highs here. Let's see. The top of these highs here. Or do we just consolidate in this zone to, this nice support zone that meets the trend line and then get buyers? But again, this is going to take a long time. So we are looking to trade between these levels, bearing in mind that we do get really nice clean entry signals. We're not just diving into anything for the sake of it. But again, nonetheless, it's definitely a pair that we want to be mapping out and take advantage of, because it's plenty of opportunities. We are, of course, in a consolidation phase, but when this pair moves, it really does move well. So that's what we're looking at. US dollar, so we have nothing too fancy. Euro JPY, let's go to the daily. Again, we've got this ascending pennant pattern, ascending wedge pattern, really nice and clean, and it does look like we're forming a double top here. So if we are looking again trades like this and you see price actions getting squeezed really hard and we've formed a double top, and you are thinking, okay, I want to get in this position here, I'm going to put my stop loss outside the pattern. Just before you do that, always go out to the weekly to see, okay, what type of big levels are to the left, because you might put your stop loss here, but a big level might be the top of these highs here, and price actions are attracted to these big levels because they know that's where the money is. They know where the stop losses are, and if you're not knowing where your levels are, you could put your stop loss in an incorrect place. And there is a bias that we have as human beings to make our favoured direction fit. So basically, if I was to say, right, I am short in this pair, I'm looking for sell trades. We are as humans masters, absolute masters at making stuff fit to fit our opinion. So for example, if I think that this is going to be a sell trade, it's very easy for me to find the level in here and say, okay, yep, that's the level, when really, if you were to put your emotions aside and you can see these really two big double tops here on the weekly, you could argue that this is where we need to be patient and take price action up to, because it's, especially if you've not had a trade in a while, or maybe you've had good trades like this in the past that have done really well, or you've even lost money. It's very easy to make stuff fit. As you see, this level's not really that clean, but because we've got a double top and price action's been squeezed, it could give us that false sense of security that this is going to be a really good trade. So this is one thing that you have to watch out for, is are you bullshitting yourself just to make the bill fit, just so you can enter a trade, and it's like scratching an itch. If you really want to be entering a trade, your brain will think of every single possible way to make that trade fit, and to make it fit with the overall bias that you originally had. So just something to be aware of. I'm going to be keeping an eye on these two levels, and price action just may very well move up. But remember, we want to be after we've been through all these pairs, we're going to go over to the dollar index, and just remember, if the dollar's strong, typically the euro will go down and vice versa. So again, just other things to be adding to your trade, other confluences. Aussie Swiss, again, as you can see, super overextended, been in a buying cycle for a long time now, and I do think we are going to need to retrace. But watch, okay, this is a really, really clean time to use a Fibonacci, I would say. So we'll have our Fibonacci up here to the top of these highs, bottom of these lows to the top of these highs. I think personally we can come down all the way down to this 0.382 Fibonacci. You can see it lines up nicely. See? With these lows here. So I'm thinking this level here, and then of course we'd also do have the 0.2 that we need to be careful about. But nonetheless, this would obviously be the first target. So if we just get rid of this now, save that, and let's zoom in, let's go down to the 1 hour, and let's see what we could see. So again, it does look like price action is going to take off, so I'm going to be monitoring. We might even get like a small pullback back into this zone here for the double top, but we might even look for a really small retest in this zone here. As you can see, it's had a nice area support, come back, used as resistance, and then we are looking to perhaps get an immediate position, just something like this. So again, we're going to move this one down because it needs immediate attention, especially in the market open. And the first one we take it down to, I mean, depends if you want to hold these or not, but I mean 0.6800 is a very reasonable target considering how much we have moved in a bullish fashion. And then just it gives us, the more we move in a bullish fashion or a bearish fashion, when we do start to see that breaking price action go the other way, we can get a very deep retracement, and it opens up the floodgates to really push price back down again before finding some buyers. So 0.6800 mark is a pretty good target. It's 283 pips away. It'll be a long ride, but nonetheless, if you're monitoring the trading and everyone's still looking good, the analysis has been solid. As you can see here, we are moving higher high, higher low, lower high, and then we're looking to extend to make that lower low past this bottom low here. So again, one to be looking out for. NZD CAD last pair. Again, I'm expecting a double top at this 1 hour support here, tight to the candle body, right to the end of the wick. So we are looking for price action to have a nice reaction at this level here, and then of course it'll be nice and simple back to the top of these highs here. But again, not like a super interesting trade, but we have broken this descending pennant pattern, and we do expect, we need more buyers to come into the market. And if buyers do come into the market, I will be one of those buyers. And I might even just change my take profit to this double top here. Very nice and easy trade if we get the right entry signal. And we're just taking it back up here. So it's nothing too big, nothing wild. You'd have to have a really good entry signal, and then the next take profit. The next take profit will of course be these highs here. Just here. Okay. So again, that's all we're looking for in NZD CAD. So not really too much to be looking at this week. We do have quite a few pairs that are looking ready, but again, nothing too hectic. We do have quite a few on the red list for future trades, but those will be posted in many videos in the community. And also they'll be posted on the Instagram page, broken down step-by-step analysis, or you'll be able to see the actual trade that we are looking to take with our long and short position tool, where we're looking to get in, where we're looking to put our stop loss, and of course where we're looking to take our profits. So this has been another weekly watch list. Again, if you have any questions, never ever hesitate to ask. We're quite responsive with messages, and we're more than happy to jump on a call and take some time to explain things further and make sure that you're getting everything that we are talking about. Of course, this is a quick breakthrough of trades, but to go into them in more greater detail, it does require a lot more time and a lot more work and a little bit more of a one-on-one touch. So if you do need help, please, again, don't hesitate, reach out. We really want to see you do well in trading. We don't want to see you making stupid mistakes that we've already made. Hence, this is the reason why we've made a course, so you don't have to go through that financial pain and struggle, and you're able to learn of the horrible mistakes that we've made in the past. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next video, and we hope everybody has a good trading week.